Welcome back to Naruto Anime Re-Review, Part 4A. Yep, discussing the first part of Round 2 of the Chunin exam. Yeah, originally I was going to stop this one at 36, but I figured though, why not 37 as well? See, the thing picks up, now, pretty much 27 ignores the events of 26. Yeah, it's not canon, it's filler. So, yeah, Anko introduces the Forest of Death. And Naruto's like, ooh, Forest, like so scary. And of course, there's a kunai him. And then she's like, what? And then all of a sudden, she just hops up right behind him. Now, in the manga, I should mind you, she did something a little different. They actually did not put this in the anime. Because in the manga, she licked his face. Yes. Which, here's kind of the thing. That's one of two series I've seen this in where somebody licks someone else's face. The only other series I've seen this in is in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That happened in the first episode of Golden Wind. This one happened in episode 27. Yeah. Now, it's like, oh, let's just hop up behind and basically hold him. It's like touching his face. Yeah, she does this instead of licking his face. Which, that was not shown in the anime. They actually did not put that in for some reason. And then a grass ninja comes and says, oh, here, I'm just returning your knife. He says, thank you, grass ninja. Yeah, this grass ninja turns out to be the main villain of the first half of the series, Orochimaru. Yep, they finally figure something later. Yes, Orochimaru, the main villain of the first half of the series. Yeah, main villain of part 1. He is in part 2, but he doesn't play a big role. Nope, his role in the series is usurped by an actual group of villains, which the first two shows up in not the next arc. No, it comes to this one. Nope. They show up in the third canon arc of the series. Yep. So, they proceed to go in, of course, they're given these scrolls, the Heaven Earth scrolls, and they have to fight each other to get these two scrolls. So, Team 7 basically, well, first they're basically fighting a bunch of people trying to steal the scrolls. At the third, and they do the same thing toward the end of it as well. They also, Kabuto is there, but he doesn't do much anything most of the entire portion of the episodes until he shows up in the third to last one. Yeah, he does. You don't see him at all. We do see Team Guy. Now, in the case Team 8, they are seen not do much of anything in this whole episodes. What are they seen doing? Well, they are just hopping around looking for, they set a trap, and of course they get the squad looking for. And then just by sheer coincidence, just happen to come across the Sand siblings, and they see Gaara murder an entire team of Genin in a matter of seconds. And at one point, it looked like Gaara was going to kill his brother, but he was just shaving the cork in this big gourd in his back. Yeah, because Kankuro. Now, there's the thing. Tamari basically tries to be very nice to her own little brother, and she has a bit chastised him in a way. Now, in the case of what goes on between Gaara and Conqueror, I don't think Gaara at this point would ever try to even harm his sister. I mean, he doesn't like his brother very much. He bullied his older brother, but from what I can tell, I don't think he wants to do the same thing at this point to his sister. He might do a little bit later in the arc, but don't worry, he changes. He's not like this the whole series. He actually seriously changes, becomes one of the best characters in the whole entire franchise, and my personal favorite male character in the series. And then they just go to the tower where Anko is after she has a brief encounter with Orochimaru, and they're seen without a scratch on them. And of course, Team 8 is there as well. They arrive pretty much the same time as they did. Also, Akamaru got spooked by them. Now, Team 7, their first meeting of Orochimaru was quite interesting. They just basically battled the Grass Ninja, who actually is Orochimaru. Of course, Naruto at one point gets swallowed by a snake, though he uses the Sharingan Jutsu to break the snake, and they fight Orochimaru, though he reveals the fact that they actually remove his face. Yeah, the thing about the face thing is something Orochimaru does, because the guy is a freaking parasite. He takes over people's bodies. Yeah. In the case of the Grass Ninja, he killed them and then skinned their faces. Thank you for not showing that, because I think the viewers would have been vomiting. And thank God they didn't show the faces. Of course, they say the faces are removed. Okay, I think the viewer did not need to see their faces, which I'm kind of glad that Parrot did not go in that direction. If this was another studio, they probably would show it. Like, maybe the studio who made Berserk or Madhouse might do that, but not Parrot. Yeah, they actually know not to do that. It's not like they'll have balls to do something like this. No, no, no. They're actually very sensitive about what, from what I can tell, they probably wouldn't do anything like this because even they know not to show something that disgusting. Though they did the opposite when it came to Tokyo Ghoul. Though I should point out the first season is actually fantastic for that series. Even Austin agrees with that. But that's something else. Okay? So, during a fight with Orochimaru bites Sasuke in the neck, gives him his curse mark. A mark he has for almost the rest of the series. Yeah, at this point he has it constantly. Yeah, he doesn't get finally removed until the final arc of the series. That's how long he has his damn curse mark. He has it for a long freaking time. Yep. And of course, it's bothering him. Then, of course, him and Naruto get knocked out. And Sakura has to take care of them. She's not a medical ninja just yet. She gets that a little bit later. And then the Sound Ninjas show up. And they try to take out Sakura. But luckily enough that Rock Lee shows up. Because, of course, he just happened to come across them. And, of course, he fights and gets bruised. And then, of course, well, Team 10 tries to intervene, though Choji basically is very reluctant until the leader of the group calls him Fatso. Which the thing is, Choji has his thing. Yeah, it's revealed here, and this is like this for pretty much the rest of the series. Now he's never addressed by this, and the insult was not given to him during the current series. Yeah, they call him Fatso. And that gets him upset and basically proceeds to fight them. Ino basically of course, he fights the guy with the gadget on its arm. Shikamaru, actually, he fights, well, the other guy. Though, they briefly take him out, though Sakura is briefly held hostage by the female ninja. Though she proceeds to, this is before Team 10 shows up, she does something completely unexpected. Yeah. She does something that is still kind of there today. She did something that not even Ino was shocked the fact that she did this. She took kunai and cut her hair. Yep, she cut her hair. Just to free it. And it's a bit messed up, but don't worry, Ino fixes it later. Though they're actually still insulting each other while doing it. Yeah, that's what Ino's like. And of course, also, keeps using the substitution jutsu, takes on the skinny member of the group, and he also bites her leg. And of course, the other guy proceeds to punch her constantly in the head to get her to let go. And then, of course, well, Rock Lee intervenes, so he is taken out by one of the ninja, though one of his ears is damaged. Don't worry, it's not permanent. He's perfectly fine later. Then then Neji and Tenten show up. And they're about to intervene, and then all of a sudden, Sasuke wakes up. And he asks the question Sakura frequently, Sakura, who did that to you? Doesn't answer, but then the other guy is like, I did that to her. And then Sasuke proceeds to beat the crap out of him, and then he also proceeds to break his arms. Yeah, he stomps on the guy's spine, and then he snaps the guy's arms. Not off, mind you, he just simply breaks both of them. And the other guy's like, yeah, and of course the woman's there conscious that Ino basically used some mind transfusion on her, though she gets hit, though she gets knocked out. He's like, okay, I'll take these two, and you can have our skull. Okay, you can have our skull, just allow us to leave, we'll leave you alone. Excuse me. And that's last see of Sound Ninja up until they show up at the tower. And they have, no, Orochimaru took their scroll, but he burned it. The other got I think it's like an earth scroll, but they're able to basically have, now Team Guy basically takes, Tenten takes Rock Lee, who she proceeds to shake him. He's like, what are you doing? Of course, he also, during the battle, I thought this was so cool, he debuts his praying mantis, basically this giant German suplex. Yes, a suplex as a jumping. It's basically what it looks like. It looks like a jumping German suplex. A German suplex in wrestling terms means you wrap your arms around someone's waist and you flip them over backwards. And the way Rock Lee does it, it's almost like he does almost a form of Canadian, like with a German suplex with a combination of with that and the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I know these two wrestling moves because I watch wrestling, but that's what the move looks like. And then he later reveals to Saka when the battle was over, it's like, Locust can blossom twice, so he can use it one more time. Though, the move is actually forbidden for him to use, unless he uses to protect someone precious to him, namely Sakura, because he's fallen for her. But don't worry, he gets over his crush by the end of the first half of the series, and he doesn't chase Sakura again after this. As a matter of fact, he later gets married to some unnamed woman, which Kishimoto has never revealed who he got married to. All that's known about him is that after the series is over, he got married, he had a son. Who he got married to, never explained. Though there's a popular fan theory that he married Tenten. Yeah, it's a popular fan theory. But the thing is, Kishimoto has never confirmed it at all. Those people suspect Tenten might be the mother of Metal Lee because of a very similar face. But they've never actually said. Kishimoto's never seen about it at all. The creators of Baruto have said nothing about it. Aside from the fact that his father is Rock Lee, no idea who the mother is. Yep. Okay, yes. And then pretty much like they all get to the tower. Of course, before they get to the tower, Team 7 still needs to get one more scroll, and then they fight some people from the Hidden Rain Village. They should at one point try to unveil what's on the scroll itself. But look up, they're stopped by Kabuto. Yeah, and Kabuto shows up when Sasuke goes to get some water. Yeah, and of course Naruto basically had to do some swimming, get some fishing done. Though apparently he's not wearing his froggy boxers. Yeah, the thing is, with Naruto, for some reason his underwear has got frogs on it. Yeah, it's at this point in the series, it's never explained why he wears his type of boxers, but he just does. And though somehow, and this is typical for anime, that he's able to dry himself off and then basically put his regular clothes back on, despite the fact he swam in his underwear. But thank God he wasn't wearing tighty whities. That would have been kind of silly for him to do. Boxers basically a lot more comfortable, in my opinion, to wear than tighty whities. That's just my opinion. Because that's how I feel basically about wearing boxers. I'm not going to delve into that, okay? Because it's personal. Okay? So, the group itself proceeds to go to the tower, though they end up going in a circle thanks to a genjutsu. Though they run into him from the Hidden Rain Village after a grueling battle with him in the same episode. The episode itself is called Clone vs. Clone. My clone's better than yours. Yeah, and basically it's the Hidden Rain Shadow clones versus Naruto's clones. Though it takes them a while, they end up beating them. Yeah, it takes them a whole freaking episode to beat them. And they beat them. They get the Heaven Scroll, and then, of course, Kabuto reunites with his group. And then, of course, they go to separate doors. So, Sakura and Naruto open up the scrolls after reading the chart. And they open up, and it's a summoning. Aruka shows up. Yep. We all see in the other room that Kabuto is meeting with Orochimaru. Yeah, he's a sound ninja spy. And apparently his team have got no problem with this at all, which is kind of weird. Either that or these two guys actually work for the Hidden Sound Village. Oh yeah, and also apparently, because Naruto, despite the fact that Orochimaru is obsessed with Sasuke, he apparently has got an interest in Naruto for some reason. As far as I know, this is never actually explained in the series. Not that I can think of, no. I mean, that's the strange thing when it comes to him. And I mean, that's what it seems. It's implied he's got an interest in Naruto, but he's more obsessed with Sasuke. Why did he say Sasuke? Sasuke. He's more obsessed with him than he is with Naruto. It goes nowhere. It could be that he's giving a card on Sasuke, but it's also kind of very heavily implied here by the conversation that the card basically is actually a card on Naruto. He even noted during his battle, it's like, if masters his chakra, he could be a really good ninja. This is according to Kabuto. Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, well, it's also that Aruka despite the fact being a teacher, he is a ninja. He's a Chunin. I kind of forgot he was a Chunin because it's been a while since I've watched this particular series. Even yes, he has appeared in Naruto. He's the principal of the school. How he gets to that point, that's actually explained in the last light novel when they adapted it for the series. Yep. But these episodes are pretty good, and then of course we lead into the third Hokage basically explaining the purpose of the Chunin exam, build more strength between allied nations. And before I explain the third exam, the third proctor shows up. Apparently he's got a really bad cough, and he's just there. His name is Gecko Minty, I think it's how you pronounce the guy's name. You have his name is Hatai Gecko. Yeah, that's the name of the guy, and he's the proctor. Well, the first proctor for the third round of the Chunin exam, because he gets replaced by the time the third Chunin exam starts up. Why? I'll reveal that when I discuss the interlude episode, because there's a reason why he gets replaced. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. My next review for Fire Force, and then that'll be it for today. As in the case of tomorrow, well, probably case closed. Now, yes, I do know that there's been a new chapter released for My Hero Academia today. I did read it. It's actually a really good chapter. I can't wait to discuss. I'm going to discuss this Sunday because that's when I review this stuff anyways. And, yes, I do know that there's been a new chapter released for Boruto. That will also discuss Monday as well with the new episode of the end of Boruto, okay? Here's the next video. Bye.